Sacco and Felice, New York and New Jersey's premier attorneys at law. Their team brings decades of experience across a wide range of practice areas. Whatever life brings, they're your legal team. From everyday matters to complex cases, they've got you covered with the experience you need and the results you want. Because when life gets complicated, they make it simple. SaccoFelice.com. SaccoFillas.com. 2 C's, 2 L's. Listen, all you New Yorkers. Excuse me, taxi. Okay, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Let's just say that there are no weekends in my universe. And tonight I'll be co-hosting the big weekend show on Fox News, 5 to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So the fun continues, and this radio show as well. But you know what, though? Always give a busy person work, and it is a labor of love. Somebody that I think I'm going to break up with now. I used to be on Tucker Carlson's show on Fox, probably more than almost anybody. I think it was like a close competition for a while between myself and Glenn Greenwald. But I was booked weekly on that show and always had some fun conversations with Tucker. I didn't really know him too well because we were usually in different places. He'd either be in Washington or Florida or Maine. I would be in New York or from my home studio. So while we were on screen together, we weren't in the same studio. So I never really got to talk to him on any private level, but always enjoyed going on his show. And it was, number one at the time. And that's always great for, exposure and all that fun stuff. But the Tucker Carlson I'm seeing now, I don't recognize. I honestly don't know what happened to this person, just like I don't know what happened to Candace Owens. But they're kind of in the same boat as far as questioning who killed Charlie Kirk, where the evidence is overwhelming that it was a young man named Tyler Robinson who had big issues with Charlie's very common sense perspective on trans people as far as playing in sports. And Charlie was killed as a result of having an opinion that differed from somebody else's, when the irony is that Charlie would debate anybody, probably including the man who killed him. So instead of debating Charlie, this person, Tyler Robinson, executed him at Utah Valley University on September 10th of last year. The reason why I bring up Tucker is because he did a long interview with the New York Times that's on video. And more, Tucker is denying saying things that he absolutely said. And this is one big example of that, where I'll just play this. And again, it's just sad to listen to, because if you say something and maybe in retrospect it was the wrong thing to say, I do 6 shows a week in terms of radio. I'm on Fox multiple times per week, probably more than 1,000 times per year, and I'm not exaggerating. You're going to say something once in a while that may be wrong. So just own it. Say, yep, I was wrong about that, and just move on, right? People will forgive you. Tucker's paid to give opinions. I'm paid to give opinions, give our perspective, our worldview. And once in a while, in retrospect, that may have been the wrong thing to say. So just own it. No one cares. No one's perfect, certainly. But here's what I mean. This is cut number 9, and this is, again, sad to listen to. Go.
What I was saying, which is you cannot mock other people's gods and put yourself in their place, period. That is a deal killer for me. That's worse than the war with Iran, in my opinion.
Yeah. But I ask because, you've been talking on your show about whether Trump is the Antichrist.
I have not said that.
On your show, the day after Easter, you noted he did not put his hand on the Bible during his swearing-in ceremony as president. You said, and I'm quoting, maybe he didn't put his hand on the Bible because he affirmatively rejects what's inside that book. And then on a recent show, you went further saying, here's a leader who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods, and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist?
I actually did not say, could this be the Antichrist? Here's a leader who's mocking the gods of his ancestors, mocking the God of gods, and exalting himself above them. Could this be the Antichrist? Well,
whoops.
Who knows? I don't know where that comes from, but I know that those words never left my lips because I'm not sure I fully understand what the Antichrist is. If there's just one, I actually tried to understand it. I may have said some are asking that. I'm not weighing in on that because I don't understand it. Just to be totally
clear.
No,
Revelations, obviously, the.
Can you believe that? He literally says, I did not say that. This New York Times interviewer, which if you watch the interview, I thought it was very fair. She literally, this is what Tim Russert used to do on Meet the Press on NBC. He literally would play back a clip to a politician and point out the hypocrisy without being condescending or pious about it, saying, you said this once, now you're saying this. What changed? And this New York Times interviewer says, you called Trump the Antichrist. And then Tucker says, I never said that. Then literally plays back the clip to him and says, those words did not leave my lips. And then goes on to say that, well, he doesn't really know what the Antichrist is. Just say, oh, I don't remember saying that. I'm on the air hours per day, every day, tens of hours per week. If I said it, I don't remember it. And if I did say it, I own it. And then just try to explain what you thought you meant at the time. But don't insult us by saying that you never said something that you said. And even after it's played to you, you still deny it. So I don't know what happened to this person. You know, ever since Fox, it seems that these people that go on, and I'm not just talking about Tucker, everybody who used to be in broadcasting, legacy broadcasting, we'll call it, Fox, CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS, when they leave their respective positions, where they had producers, where they had guardrails, where they had people that would say, maybe we don't go down that road, or maybe we don't have evidence of this. Now it's the Wild West. Now you can say whatever the hell you want. And you say, well, that's a good thing. Maybe, but maybe it's good also to have somebody there who looks at it from another perspective and says, this may not reflect well on you. Or this is a lie. Just be outright in terms of your producing abilities and say, we can't go to air with this. But now that there's no guardrails, then you have the Don Lemons and Jim Acostas and Chuck Todds and Terry Morans, Joy Reid, Katie Couric of the world, people that made seven figures, good money, who deemed themselves, anyway, to be respected journalists. And now you see exactly what road they're going down. Tucker, not really a journalist. He's an opinion guy like me. But at some point, you can't deny saying things that you said. And this New York Times interview has been an absolute disaster for him, because if you go online, go on X, he is being killed for it, even by people that were his biggest fans. And that includes the guy you're listening to right now. Here's more Tucker during that interview, and now apparently believes that Trump could put people into spells like witchcraft or something. Cut number 10, go.
Instead, there were a lot of cowardly people, as there always are, and Trump engenders cowardice in the people around him through intimidation. And there is a kind of quality that he has that's spellbinding, and I think it probably literally is a spell. And the effect is to weaken people around him and make them more compliant and more confused. And I've experienced this myself. You spend a day with Trump and sort of like you're in this kind of dreamland. It's like smoking hash or something. It's interesting, very interesting. And there may be a supernatural component to it. I'm not a theologian, but it's real. And anyone who's been around can tell you it's real.
There's a supernatural component to it. I take issue with the fact that he intimidates people into just, and we're talking about Trump, into just doing whatever he wants. I get the feeling, given J.D. Vance's story, and I get the feeling, given Marco Rubio, who seems to be, this guy is as serious as a heart attack. I have a column up today for the Washington Examiner saying that Marco's momentum is impossible to ignore. I'm not saying Marco Rubio is going to run against J.D. Vance. That's not how that's going to work. They'll work it out privately, but either it's J.D. Vance and Marco as the vice president, or J.D. Vance doesn't run to be with his family. Usha's pregnant, fourth child, has many young kids right now, 3 others. Maybe he wants to be there for their childhood. And then, well, in 10 years, 15 years, he could still run for president and only be in his mid-50s. Not a bad runway. So I could see J.D. maybe not running, Marco running, and Marco winning big, because he has a crossover appeal that no Democrat can match, especially this crop that is running, the Gavin Newsoms, AOCs, Pete Buttigieg, Kamala Harris. He would absolutely smoke all of them. Marco would. JD, I'm not so sure about that. There's something about him where all the anti-Trumpers come out, where Marco, I think that would be muted for the most part. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm naive. But the point is that I don't see Marco Rubio being intimidated into an opinion by Trump. I don't see Tom Homan, certainly, altering his worldview as a result of what Trump tells him, or Scott Bessent, or Pete Hegseth, for that matter. I could go down the line, but again, Tucker is way off on this one. Let's continue before we go to break. Now, here's Tucker accusing the aforementioned Marco Rubio of treachery against J.D. Vance. Again, these hyperbole, I guess, is like a big deal in the podcasting world, in the Tucker world. It gets you clicks. You know, you're Candace Owens, you say the most provocative things, and I guess that attracts a certain kind of audience. But treachery? Really? Cut number 11, go.
JD has been subject to, this is well known, but I'll just confirm it, nonstop treachery from people on the neoconservative side.
Who are these people?
Around Marco Rubio. And they have been totally against JD Vance from the very beginning.
Who do you mean specifically?
You know, I don't know is the real answer. I don't know.
You're accusing people of treachery, so I'm wondering.
Well, I know there's been a lot of treachery for sure, and I know they were so mad about JD getting that job.
They?
I mean,
who's they? Within the White House?
I don't know the answer to that. I've never worked there, so like if you don't work there, you can say you can say what you think you know, but it's hard to really know.
This is me looking skeptical.
Yeah, well, no, it's me being honest. Like I don't really know.
So you accuse Marco Rubio of treachery, and then you say they, but you don't know who they is. Again, this is like grassy knoll, JFK kind of flat earth society kind of stuff being thrown out there. And I'm so glad I don't praise the New York Times very often, but that is a fair interview. Who is they? Name them. Oh, I don't work in the White House. Then why are you saying it? Then why are you making the accusation when you don't have a person behind it? Outside of Marco Rubio, I guess, which you obviously don't know anything. You're talking out of your you-know-what. All right, actually, one more before we go to break. Sorry, guys. This is cut number 16. Again, this is Tucker saying something and then saying he didn't say it until, well, there's video and audio of him saying it. Again, I'll just put it right out there. This is a stone-cold liar. And he has all these followers, I guess, but let's expose this for what it is. He says that he doesn't say things until the proof comes out and then still denies saying it. This is cut number 16. Go.
Hamas is a group of jihadis. They're Islamic extremists, which they also claim constantly, which I don't know if that's true, by the way. It seems more like a political organization.
Raised some eyebrows this week when you said that Hamas is more like a political organization than a terror group. That was on the new episode of your show when you were talking.
I didn't say that.
You didn't say that. Well, there's the proof. I just don't get it. Just own it. Fine. Say Hamas, was, I guess, elected to power in 2005 in Gaza. And that would make them a political organization, except, they carried out the worst massacre of Jews since the Holocaust, killing more than 1,200 people, including babies, women, raping men, women, children, kidnapping people, holding them for more than 2 years. Yeah, it's a terror organization. But if you want to say they're a political organization, again, Tucker, just own it. Instead of denying, saying things that clearly, pain is temporary, the internet is forever, and that is where the proof is. Anyway, this is Joe Concha.
Thanks for listening. The Joe Concha Tunnel to Towers Foundation Sunday Morning Show. You can hear the Joe Concha Tunnel to Towers Foundation Sunday Morning Show. Sunday mornings at 10. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode, so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
The Marine Toys for Tots foster care program is bringing hope to children who need it most. Every 2 minutes, a child enters foster care, often with only a small bag of belongings. More than 400,000 children face trauma and uncertainty, many before age 8. This May, during Foster Care Awareness Month, Toys for Tots is creating Room for Joy. In 2025, nearly 375,000 children received comfort through toys, books, and essentials, reminding them they are not alone. Donate now and change a child's life.